it's those three sectors are probably the big sectors that I'm hyper-focused on, wastewater and transportation. We also see an area of self-resiliency, and that is in the emergency management crisis. Because as this weather situation gets more and more intense, we're finding that people forgot how to make fires, don't know where their water comes from, don't understand where the sewage goes. And you put them in a situation where all of our utilities are taken away, a big windstorm or something, and you can have a major problem, a major crisis on your hands just from people not being self-reliant enough or being aware. So emergency management is going to involve teaching people, becoming more self-reliant, decentralized system, and then hardening the system so it can be the system of support for people and infrastructure so that it can bounce back more readily. And we're getting a great challenge, and it's been a terrible pleasure to be involved with the Woolsey fire because it's an awful thing that happened, but we're also seeing what the future looks like in terms of LA County's readiness. It's an interesting culture there in the Santa Monica Mountains. There's a lot of very resilient people who live off the grid, and there's also a huge amount of people who move there because it's beautiful, but really have never lived out in a rural area. And so we're investing up there as a model in response, in warning systems, and as well as hugely as in terms of recovery. So what we build back, we want to do better in terms of its ability to survive such events. And that is not only the people's homes, but actually the environment there. The unbelievable loss of natural resources that occurred it's disheartening. And animal life as well as habitat. So, and you look what's happening in Australia. It's a foreshadowing of what could happen here. And so resiliency, community resiliency through our emergency management arena, but also just the overall infrastructure approach has to include resiliency these days because of the condition we're in.
Too often, firefighters left without water as hydrants went dry.
They are not designed to fight wildfires. A firefight with multiple fire hydrants drawing water from the system for several hours is unsustainable.
Water! Officials say they weren't able to fill tanks fast enough, which would have helped with the water pressure. Something NBC's Morgan Chesky saw firsthand.
Out of every fire hydrant you've seen, what have you found?
Right now, we're finding most of them are down or low pressure.
If you had a hydrant for this building,
If we had a hydrant for this building, we might have been able to save the back out.
First, before we embark upon what is going to be a journey to rebuild these communities back and rebuild them better than they were when we started this fire.